What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is Marrying Millions Season 1 Episode 5. So let's get into these couples, honey. So we got Bree and Bill. Bree and Bill. Bill has taken Bree down to Miami, to his house in Miami, honey. And you know you gotta be rich when he says, yeah, I got this house and it was under $10 million. Now, mind you, it's a gorgeous home. And what it looks like is that he rents it out when he's not using it. And so they're down there, and he said, you know, with everything going on in Dallas and with all the scrutiny and everything that she's been going through, I just wanted to get away. I wanted her to be in an area where nobody had to worry about it. He said, you know, she deserves it. You know what I mean? She's been putting up with a lot because she's with me, and I just want to, you know, show her a good time. And they clearly have gone to that house before, because she said, you know, the first time I came here, you know, I was blown away, you know, and this, that, and the other. So then they get to talking about family and stuff, and he said something to her about, you know, well, wouldn't you love to live here in Miami? And she was like, well, I mean, I have, you know, family. And he was like, I have my family and stuff. He was like, I mean, why are you so attached to your family? And she was like, I mean, only because they gave birth to me. Like, those are my parents. And he was like, I mean, yeah, but I mean, my mom, which, I mean, I didn't know his mama was still alive, but okay. He said, I mean, my mom, but I go to see her maybe twice a year. Okay, well, that shows like, that reflects badly on you, not on her. And for you, I just thought it was so callous for him to be like, why are you so attached to them? Like, what's the big deal? So later on in the episode, we see that he's buying a yacht. He said, hey, you know, I don't know if all millionaires have yachts, but this millionaire is getting ready to have one. And he invites Rosie to come down, you know, and he tells her, he says, yeah, he said, we get ready to get a yacht because we're moving to Miami. She was like, excuse me? She said, how does he feel like he can tell me and he gets to decide that we're going to move to Miami? And he gets to tell me we are moving to Miami. She was like, I have a life in Dallas. I have my family in Dallas. Now, I don't know what she does for a living. I don't know if she mentioned job, honey. But she did say she have a life in her family. And she was like, how does he feel like that he just gets to tell me we're moving to Miami? And so he was like, listen, life is short. It's all about living your life to this fullest. He said, you need to really, get out of your comfort zone. You're staying in Dallas because that's all you've ever known. He said, but, let's move to Miami. He was like, listen, you're putting up with a lot of stuff because Dallas society is so stuck up. He said, down here in Miami, an older man with a younger woman, people don't even blink an eye. In Dallas, there's that scrutiny. But here, no big deal. And I find it interesting because he said he's always dated younger women. So I'm like, well, what makes this relationship so different and so special? I mean, do you really care about her like that? Like, it really is it really that deep and that you really, really do care about her? You know what I'm saying? I just found that to be very interesting, very, very interesting. Yeah, because it seems like he's willing to make some changes for Rosie. For Bree, but he said that, he's always been in relationships with younger women. So maybe he really does care about her. I don't know. But he really did finesse her, honey, because she started off being mad and angry and indignant and was like, how dare he decide that we get ready to move and without, making a decision like that for us. And then by the time she was like, well, maybe you're right. I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe I need to do that. And I was like, ooh, he finessed you. He finessed you, girl. Kudos, Bill. Kudos. So then we have Ginty and Brian. Listen, Brian didn't go to Ginty, honey. Brian walked up out that damn party. And he was like, you're not going to disrespect me and I'm out. And not only did he walk up out that party, honey, he wasn't answering her phone calls. And he wasn't calling her. And she said, Brian, ghosted me. And this how you know how caught up she was in the party. She said, my friends told me that they saw Brian leave. So you didn't even know he had left. And you didn't know when he left. You were caught up. Now, granted, it was your party and you were the host. And I mean, we've all hosted parties. You do get caught up and you get sidetracked. And you don't have time to keep up with every single thing that's going on. I mean, that's true. That's valid. But I just found it to be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting that she didn't even know the man was gone. So she shows up at his house, which again, you didn't even know where he lived until a week ago, but now you just popping up. You just popping up. And Ginty was like, what happened? You left. Why did you leave? And they talked about what happened at the party. And he told her how he felt. He said, I worked really hard to get you something really nice, and I just felt really very disrespected. I look up and you got the strippers all in your face and everything. And she said, well, you know what? She said, you're right, but I was already mad with you because you were late. And so I give her credit for acknowledging the fact that she was in a bad mood, and she probably was being a little bitchy towards him because he was late, and she was embarrassed by the fact that her boyfriend was late to her birthday party. I can understand that. Like, you're being honest. You know what I'm saying? You're being honest about how you felt in that moment, right? That's fair. That is fair. So, okay. So, I'm sorry, y'all. So that was, so they made up, and she did say, well, you were really rude to me. He said, your friends are really mean to me. Like, they real rude to me. And she said, well, you said some rude stuff to them. And he said, but I apologized. She said, oh, well, they didn't tell me that. Yeah, I guess they didn't. They didn't tell you that because they don't want you to like this man. They don't want you to stay with him. They don't want you to be in a relationship with him. And again, I'm not saying Brian is perfect, and I agree with everything that Brian has done. But again, I feel like you sacrifice something when you voluntarily put yourself in a relationship with a man that don't have what you have. Like, it just is what it is. Like, and he's not pretending like he has. It'd be one thing if he was pretending. I mean, he lied to you about living with his parents, but he ain't never lied to you about the fact that he was broke. So the fact that he probably took what he had and did the best he could. Now, I still think there's something going on with the fact that this man don't have no damn money. I mean, he live at home with his parents. And I know construction workers, who make good money. The problem is that their work is seasonal. But in a place like Nevada, you're working more than you're not working. Like in areas on the East Coast, they can't work when it's raining. They can't work if it's snowing, if the temperatures go below a certain point. And I'm sure that there's days when if it goes over a certain point, you can't work. But you're probably working more days than you're not. I feel like he got a divorce that he paying for, some kids he ain't talking about, the child support is hitting him. I mean, I don't know. It's something. I don't know. That's my opinion. But anyway, so that's them. Sean and Megan. Listen. Yeah. So Sean and Megan go to visit her parents. And remember, her parents are like, middle class, doctor. I mean, mom was a school teacher. Dad was a firefighter. She talks about how, her and her mom grew up. They were really close, and how, basically their relationship is like the total opposite of Drew with his family. Their relationship is total opposites of it or whatever. They're talking about the wedding and everything, but Sean ain't saying nothing to her about the fact that her daddy told him, you need to get a prenup. And, she said, I can tell something's wrong with Sean. I don't know what his father said to him, but he's been acting really weird. Like, I don't know what's really going on. And, finally, they visit the family and everything is cool. And you can tell that it's clear they've been dating for a while, and the parents are happy that they're getting married. The parents are like, hey, I'm happy that they're finally, I'm fine that they're finally making this a traditional situation. They probably ain't been happy with their daughter shacking up with the millionaire. You know what I mean? And so they're talking about wedding preparations and things like that. And her mom went to go look at dresses, and she was telling them how the fact that there's no budget for the wedding, and everything is just sort of wide open. And July's coming up pretty soon, so you see them, see her making phone calls and making arrangements and things like that. So the wedding is moving right along. So then we see her and Sean talking one-on-one, and she's like, listen, what's going on? Like, something is on your mind. You're not telling me what's going on. What's really good? What's going on? And he was like, well, I was talking to my dad, and my dad, he ain't really crazy about this whole situation. And basically, he was like, I got to get a prenup. And she got upset. She was like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? You getting a prenup? That means you don't trust me after everything we went through. You still think, you must still think, you think that I'm here for your money or something? You don't trust me? That means you don't trust me. And I'm like, I said it in my last review. When you are dating someone, and here's the thing. Nowadays, prenups, I have friends who got prenups and They just went into a marriage with a house and maybe some property or something, but they want to protect their assets. They ain't even rich. At this point in the game, for you to walk into a marriage with a rich man who has the type of generational wealth that he has, you should not be offended that his family wants him to get a prenup. I'm sorry. You just shouldn't be. And like I said in my last review, what you need to do is get you a good lawyer, get you a good family attorney, and tell him what it is you want in the prenup to protect yourself. And then you make sure that, okay, I'm going to sign the prenup, but this is what I want in the prenup. I want XYZ amount of money if we stay married this amount of years. XYZ amount of money if we stay married this amount of years. And if we stay married more than 20 years, the prenup is null and void. It no longer matters, okay? I want a clause in there that says that if the marriage ends due to infidelity on your part, the prenup is null and void. There are things that you can put in a prenup that will help you. A prenup doesn't have to be all one-sided. Those days are over. Them days is gone. Okay? Prenups are not one-sided situations anymore. So I just feel like I understand. I don't understand. Knowing his father, knowing how his father feels about marriage, knowing that his daddy just don't really like you like that, why are you shocked? Why are you shocked at this? And let's be clear. You gonna have to sign that prenup. Because his father clearly has shown in the past that he will use his money as a weapon. He already, he said his father already cut him off before. So clearly he's not making enough of his own money to live the lifestyle he wants to live, and his daddy controls the purse strings. So please be clear. You gonna sign that prenup. You can be mad about it if you want to, but I'm telling you what it's gonna be. It is what it's gonna be. Drew and Rosie. So Drew and Rosie are living up in the loft. Drew had been out of town. He came up in the house while Rosie was asleep. He said it was nice waking up to her. She said it was nice having him there. They are living this a nice honeymoon period, honey. Everything is great. Everything is rosy. No pun intended. But that little voice is in the back of her head. And so she asked him, well, how many, have you ever cheated on anybody before? And he was like, yeah. Well, have you ever had, women in this, how many other women have you had in this loft before? And he was like, a lot. He said, I've been a bachelor for a long time. I mean, I dated women. And again, you gotta give him an A for honesty. He was like, listen, I was a bachelor for a long time. Yes, I've had a lot of women coming up and through here. Yes, I have, cheated in the past, but I was young, dumb, made some bad decisions. But I love you, and I want to be with you. And what we see later on in the episode is he actually does go to the jewelry store to look for a ring for her because he's going to propose. So, listen. Here's the thing I can appreciate. I appreciate when the person is honest. I would be worried if Drew was trying to pretend like he was, innocent. He never did anything wrong. He's been the perfect husband, the perfect boyfriend, and all of that. Then I'd be like, But the fact that he's like, listen, I was who I was, but I'm ready to settle down, and you the person I want to settle down with, listen, you got to give that some validity. We got to give that some validity, okay? Kate and Sean. Now listen, Kate, first of all, what we find out is that Sean not only is a party promoter, young millionaire entrepreneur, he also is a rapper. And Kate has a problem with the groupies. Listen, Kate. Listen. First of all, you ain't got to worry about it. He ain't going to have that many groupies. It's not that serious, okay? Second of all, once again, you are dating a man who is in the field of party pleasing. That is what he does. Even if he weren't a rapper, his job is to promote parties. His job is to be a social butterfly, so to speak. And he was taking pictures with women and stuff like that. And my thing is, you were there with him. You mad and you jealous of something you are literally standing there watching him do. I mean, he wasn't sliding nobody his phone number. He wasn't flirting. you know, she spoke, he spoke, she asked for a picture, he took a picture, and walked off. Like, literally, it was a 10-second interaction. And she was really upset. And he told her, he was like, listen, I gotta interact with my fans. Like, all 5 of them want to talk to me. And I have to be available to my 5 fans when I get done. And I don't understand why you don't understand. I don't understand why you mad. Like, girl, you need to know. I was like, I'm gonna need you to calm down. That's what I'm gonna need you to really do, is to calm down. Anyway, that was pretty much what we saw. In this episode, I think we may have seen a little bit more with Brian and Ginty, but I think it was just them hanging out at her house and getting in, you know, him enjoying. Oh, they got a massage. That's what it was. She got him a massage, and come to find out, this man has never had a massage before. Now listen, I'm all here for, I lived a certain lifestyle. I wasn't rich or whatever. But some things, like, I've had massages before, and I'm far from rich. Like, I've been to spas, I've had massages, and I ain't rich at all. Those types of things are affordable little treats that you can give yourself. But anyway, she got him a massage, and he enjoyed it. But he was like a kid in a candy store because, of course, he had never heard of it. He had never done it before. And then afterwards, they talked, you know, and they talked a little bit more about where their feelings and their relationship and where they want things to go, and, you know, all of that good stuff. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be able to overcome those obstacles. I don't know, because I think Ginty, I mean, it's like I said, it's one thing to not have a whole lot of money, but it's other things. Like, you don't own a suit, never had a massage. Like, I don't know if those are things that she can continuously sort of move past. I don't know. I could be wrong. Anyway, y'all, that was the episode. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in those comments. Peace.